What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is another episode of the Juicebox Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK. As always, we've had the Dubon Fan Club president, Mr. Chris Moreno, and Sweet B Bones Bryles. How y'all doing, fellas?
Man, like I said, pretty much the same as last week, man. It's been a very League City Little League type of week for me. And but on top of that, man, we are 15 days from opening day. And like the news is coming in, and it's been kind of a crazy last couple of days as far as news on Astros news. Apparently, what is that? New Era is having issues with their hats, and like I said, the leak of the potential new City Connect jerseys. I mean, so as far as that, man, it's been kind of crazy. National World is about as crazy as it's been in Costa de Chris. So yeah, man, but I'm excited to be here, man. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, man, doing good. It's been a crazy week, and as we've all seen stuff coming out of spring training, I mean, the pieces are starting to kind of fall where they're supposed to go. We do. Chris already said it. We've got a whole bunch of other than Astro MLB news too. Some of it funny, some of it serious, and it's been very interesting to keep an eye on any of the headlines that have popped up. So, how about you, PK? How's it been, man?
It's been a busy week. Not as exciting as y'all's lives, but more work-related stuff. But yeah, it's been a busy week. Almost there. Kids are about to be on spring break in a day and a half, so you got that coming up. But yeah, man, just plugging away on spring training and this Cam Smith thing is kind of getting some traction. He played 5 innings a couple of days ago out in right field. This kid's making it more and more difficult, I think, for him to possibly go down. Even though we kind of talked about it last week, on what, the options, could be, should be, whatnot. So, we've got a pretty good battle at second base with Rogers and Guillorme. So there's a lot to talk about. And then, of course, we have to talk about the New Era hats. Let's just start with that because it's kind of the funny thing, and we'll go into serious stuff. So I actually was not aware of what the Rangers hat looked like or the A's hat looked like until I heard it on the radio, and then I saw it come across the wall, on X, and and then I saw it. So for those that don't know, the Astros New Era came out with the whole, every major league team new hat. The Astros hat looked like it said Astros or Ashos on it. The Rangers looked like they said Tetas on it. And then the A's, their hat said ass. So,
I mean, that's fair. It's fair.
I mean, the A's one kind of fit, but it was just, it was actually pretty funny to see the hat. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I saw on Twitter that, so some of the hats went out. Like people bought them and they've already got their hats and are reselling them. And some of those hats are going for close to $1,000.
That's crazy. Whoa. I mean, but good on them though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I saw 300. I didn't see $1,000.
Look, they're going to be rare hats. They're going to be rare. I mean, so New Era's pulled them, right? They pulled the hats, obviously. But they're, if you have one, it's going to be a rare hat for sure. It's still hilarious though. It's like, where's the QA on this? Where's your bilingual marketing person?
Yeah, and honestly too, it's like the crazy thing with it is the hats are about as basic as you can basically make them. It's like it looked like New Era took absolutely zero time into putting into let's make a cool hat. I mean, all it was hey, let's take their hat logo and put in the middle of their jersey script. And for some teams, it didn't work out so well. For other teams, I mean, all in all, I mean, like they're ugly ass hats, to be honest with you. I mean, like even if they weren't all jacked up with, them saying ass or, tetas or anything like that, I mean, I wouldn't have bought them anyway. I mean, they're trash hats, so I'm not spending $50 on that. So
yeah,
funny that there's no accountability, to review these hats and, hey, maybe this is not such a great idea. But sometimes you just got to send it and hope for the best. And now those hats are living in infamy along with my spring training Astros hats from last year. So
That's true. So New Era is good at that.
yeah,
But it is. It's like they went to lids and said, "Yo, give me
somebody
the give me the jersey script with the logo in front." Maybe
yeah.
that's what it looked like. So good, funny story to start the episode on. But I'm glad the Astros don't have that. That hat. I'm glad they pulled it along with the other ones, which other ones I don't care about. But the Astros hat was pretty basic. I agree with you, Chris. Like I wouldn't spend $50 on that hat anyway. So we'll move on. But we got the Cam Smith thing. Look, this is becoming a pretty hot topic. It really is, and I'm curious to see what y'all really think about it. Or, here I'll say my piece real quick. I think, as awesome as it is for him to be crushing it like he is, for me, it's still it's spring training and how many big league arms is he really seeing, right? How many big league pitchers is he really seeing? Like I saw something tonight before we went on, and I think like the caption was like, professional at bat. He lined out to second, but he, it was like he went from an 0-2 count and got it back to 2-2, and it's like, well, cool. I mean, you should be able to work the count, back. I mean, like it's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not hating on the kid. I mean, like he's doing really good, but I still think too small of a sample size to really tell. But he's definitely getting a lot of run. So I'm curious to see what you guys think.
You want to go first, Browse?
Well, I mean, I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. It's, I've said from the very beginning, it doesn't matter how awesome he is, unless we are just riddled with injuries. They're going to do everything they can to, one, preserve that extra service time that they're going to get with bringing him up later in the year. But it sure does look like they're trying to get him cozied up over in right field, to say the very least. So, listen, if he has the athletic ability, which we all know he does, to probably play damn near any position on the field, then if he can learn right field, hey, go put him in AAA for 2 months, 3 months, whatever you need to do. Let him get really good at it, then bring him up. It's been, I think climbing Taos Hill was saying like how much of a risk it is to actually look at our outfield and what they're doing and expect a really good outcome in the first half of the season with what we currently have. But at the same time, we've got a good hitter that's going to come up. Now, as long as he doesn't hurt us defensively and we can put him in that right field position or something like that, fantastic. But like I said, I'm sticking with my guns. I don't think he's going to crack the opening day squad. And I don't even think it's going to be an option, to be completely honest with you. I think that they're going to roll with what they got. We've got something exciting to root about, as we've already talked about, but not going to happen.
So like I kind of think of it like this. I mean, how bad is Jake Myers and Chas McCormick doing to where this, coming into spring training, it was like, yeah, we'll get to see Cam Smith, great. So where he has a legit shot now to crack the opening day roster. I mean, because I know, like, I haven't, like, the last few days or the last like week, I really haven't been able to keep up and like watch a lot of the spring training games. But from what I'm seeing and what I'm reading, it's like Chas isn't, blowing anybody out of the water. And after that one decent game that Jake Myers had, he's kind of fell off the Grand Canyon. So, selfishly, I want him to start off in AAA, mainly because I've got opening day tickets for Space Cowboys. I like to see him, in Sugarland. But I mean, again, it's just very kind of worrisome. I mean, because PK, I agree. I mean, it's spring training. I know that there's always that one guy. It seems like every single year is that one guy everybody falls in love with. What was it, last year or the year before? It was Durden that everybody was. I think last year, and it was Durden 2 years ago. I think last year was what, Loperfido, right? So Loperfido was last year.
Loperfido, yeah.
And then this year it's Cam Smith. I mean, I say don't rush the kid. I mean, if he impressed enough to where he, is considered, then let him start the season in AAA playing right field. I mean, everything I've read is that the reports on Pedro Leon is that he's going to be out for a while. So it looks like you're going to have an outfielder need in AAA. So So that's what I would do. I mean, it's cool. Like I said, we've talked about it the last couple of weeks how, cool it's been to have a prospect come up that's caught fire that everyone's like really been like gung ho, like for real, this kid could have a chance. But I mean, I think for his development as well, I think he should start in AAA and then maybe around May, June time, if he's killing it in AAA, then you give him the call, depending on how terrible McCormick and Myers are doing.
Yeah, I still feel that. Still feel the same way. I want to say that Schwab got into I don't know, whatever you want to call it, going back and forth with one of the, someone that commented on one of his posts, right? So there is the thought that, let's say he makes the opening day roster. Cam Smith makes the opening day roster. He's our starting right fielder. Okay. And he goes on to win Rookie of the Year. Well, then the Astros get a comp pick for him for bringing him up and him winning Rookie of the Year. Now, I'm not saying if he makes the opening day, he's going to win. But if he does, you do get a comp pick between, I think, the first and the second round, I think is what it is. And Schwab's, I wish I should have wrote it down, but it was a few days ago. But his point was, wires, just like really what we were talked about last week, which was like fans essentially that misguided thought on the team wanting to keep control by keeping this kid down till May, right? Is this a terrible way to go about it from an organization standpoint? If he's ready, bring him up. And then his argument to that was, because if he's that good and does win Rookie of the Year, well, then you get a comp pick, for bringing him up, for taking a chance, for essentially losing that extra year of team control. So, I mean, you can go deep into the weeds and all that stuff. I don't know if there's really not a right or wrong answer, right? The organization's going to do what they want to do. But I still think that I will be misguided, like Schwab said, and keep his ass down and bring him up, keep that extra year. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. But he's definitely not making it easier. I'm gonna tell you that.
No, I agree. I mean, and like you were saying, the Major League Baseball has definitely tried to do away with that narrative of teams, intentionally holding guys down to gain that extra year. That's why they came up with if you call so and so up out of spring training, or he makes a team at spring training, wins Rookie of the Year, that's why they're trying to comp him for it. So, like I said, in the past, that might have been a big thing. I mean, but like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, because like I said, it's not like you have two all-stars in right field and left field that's holding Cam Smith down. I mean, but I'm also, again, I don't want to rush the kid either, so I mean, I'm good either way. I mean, if he earns it, he earns it. I mean, the competition wasn't tough. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair. That's fair for sure. So, what do you think about Guillermo and Rogers? Who is if you had to pick right now, who's one, who's two?
Rouse, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, honestly, I think Rogers has got to be over Guillermo. It's he's had a good spring. Don't get me wrong, but I think when we're looking at pedigree and the fact that I think all in all, Brendan Rodgers is just a better baseball player, and I think that's what it's going to end up breaking down to. So you'll obviously I know Brendan Rodgers is we cannot option him down. So basically, if he doesn't make the opening day roster, gone. But for Guillermo, now that's the one thing I don't know is if he doesn't make the opening day roster, can we actually send him down to AAA, or does he have the option just to become a free agent after that? And if either one of you guys know, please chime in.
I don't know. I mean, they signed him on a minor league deal. I mean, so it's not like how it was Singleton last year where they couldn't send him down. But to answer your question, PK, I am team Rogers all the way. I mean, it's just, you have a guy that was picked in the first round. Now, granted, things maybe didn't work out as well for him in Colorado. And, when we brought him in, the first thing that I looked at was his road home splits, and his road splits weren't awesome, so, but again, you have a former all-star, like I said, former first round pick. And I agree with Bros. I think he's overall the better baseball player. I like the fact that Guillorme is a left-handed hitter. He can play multiple positions. I mean, but I think he's more of like that depth piece that you can call from AAA if somebody gets hurt, or let's say Rogers comes off to a super duper slow start after 20 games. Yeah, I mean, if it's my call and it's not, I'm definitely Team Rogers. I'm thinking Brandon Rogers makes the team.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think like you both touched on the fact that he was taken, I don't know what, third? Was he taken third?
Yeah, I
Right.
think so.
Right behind Bregman.
And I think just with that allows, I think, a player in almost any sport to get as many chances as you think they possibly need. Right. I saw that he hit a ground ball double, like pretty good shot yesterday maybe. They both had like pretty good springs for them, right? Like they both have been. It's been a really tight battle. I think I would lean more to Rogers at this moment, mostly just because, well, I don't know that much about Guillorme, to be perfectly honest with you. So, but I do know that the battle between them has been really contested. So they're both, again, making it difficult for the organization to figure out what they need to do. So I'm Team Rogers on that one. Logan Van Way? He pitched a couple days ago too, didn't he? He had a really good outing.
Yeah, no, he's a great all spring. I mean, like I said, I know we did a quick touch up on it last week. I mean, but like, I mean, like from what I've seen out of the rest of the bullpen, I would be pretty shocked. I mean, if he didn't make the team out of spring, but if he didn't make the team out of spring, I would say he's the first guy that's getting pulled up. So and I'm going to go ahead on a limb and say it. Excuse me. Forrest Whitley's making the team in the bullpen. I mean, he's been money all spring. This is the guy. Now, this guy, he definitely has options. So if he doesn't make the team, he gets optioned down. He's got to go on waivers. He'll be gone. So this is the guy that'll probably make the roster out of spring.
I totally agree with you on that, and just like you said, we don't have a choice. One, honestly, he's earned it. I've made fun of the fact that he's the ghost of Forrest Whitley because you've never seen him. Where is he, and what happened to him? But anyway, no, he's actually performed very well. We're going to have to put him in the bullpen. One, just like you said, because he's out of options. But two, I think the Astros are out of options because we've had injuries to the bullpen, and some of our guys from the past that we could have picked up for very cheap have moved on, just like we talked about last week. So I think I brought that up. Seth Martinez gone. Hector Neris gone. You could have got either one of them for very, very cheap. There's probably still some on the trash heap as far as relief pitchers that you could go get just to eat some innings. But, I mean, it's not going to be worth it at this point. So Forrest Whitley, I would say, is definitely going to be there. And then for Van Way, he's looked pretty good. I think all the guys have been touched up a couple times, just a little bit, getting in there. But for the most part, he's looked great. I don't see any way that he doesn't make the team. And then from there, keep your fingers crossed until they get this bullpen situation online.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems like we've got, a fairly decent, almost dare I say, a little bit of pitching depth, right now, which I'll take compared to last year. On another note, LMJ is about to face some live hitters here in the next few days, so that's a big step for him. I know we kind of we make fun of him about the barista and picking up Altuve with his off arm in the commercial. We don't want that one to get hurt, but I'm happy for him. He's we'll see. We'll see what happens, but yeah, he should be facing some real hitters next few days.
Well, I thought he faced live hitters today because I was reading something he threw. He struck out what? I think he said he struck out 4 people on 30 pitches, and his fastball was up to he was 91 and 93, maybe 94 around there. So I guess now he's gonna. I guess I don't know. Either now,
I don't see how sore his arm is.
Yeah, And yeah, I mean, so like honestly, I was surprised we got this much spring training stuff in. But before we move on to the next item, I will say that it pains my heart, and it definitely is a sad day to know that my one what was it, my one 2025 hot take prediction that Colton Gordon was going to make the team out of spring and lead the team in wins. Well, he was optioned down to minor league camp a couple of days ago, so
Womp womp.
that ship has sailed. I'm officially out of the running. So, well, we'll see what happens.
Well, you know, it can't all be winners, Chris.
You cannot. You can try.
Well, we all, look, technically, we all lost in the Bregman thing, so you're just one loss beneath us at the moment.
I'll always have the Kikuchi trade.
You will always have that for sure,
and he's not going to let us forget it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all right, so let's jump into this. Let's jump into this leak. This leak of the City Connect unis. Chris, why don't you throw that up there real quick?
All right, let me see if my my non-degree will make this look good. Look at that. There we go.
So here's the leaked. What we assume. I mean, it's looking like this is going to be the, the new City Connect unis. I don't know if I'm a fan of the A on the hat, that logo. I think I'm just, the jerseys have kind of grown on me a little bit in the last couple of days. I did see a navy blue version of this jersey.
Yeah.
Somebody made it.
I haven't seen that.
Dude, that one's, if they do that, it's awesome.
Dude,
awesome.
I'll be honest with you. When I first saw it, like, I was kind of like the old, like, I don't know, like maybe I'm just like a kind of a messed up, jacked up Astros fan, but like the old school shooting star, like the ones like in the 60s, that one just doesn't really do it for me. Like when I want the shooting star, I want the late 90s. So, and I'll go ahead and put this back up as I talk about it. But when I saw the necklace, I was like, man, at first I thought that was the brick red. I was like, okay, all right, I like that. The blue, the navy blue, and the brick red. But then when I saw the jerseys, I was like, man, that's kind of a clean, super clean jersey. I think I kind of like it. The only thing that I don't like, and this is to nitpick, is this: I hate white hats. Like that's just everything everything was badass about it. I mean, now again, if they decide to go put out a navy blue variation of this jersey, take my money. But that white hat is killing me, man. Like they nailed that to a T until they got to the hat. And
so you have that sweat ring like right here going all the way around.
Yeah, it's just like if that hat was like orange or something, then that, like I said, I've read some people like kind of bitching about the uniform. I think the uniform looks really clean. I really do. I like the throwback to the late 90s. You're still using, the majority of the Astros eras with the orange and blue. It's just, I hate the white hat, man. But that's just me. Like everything else I like even the bobblehead that's got the secondary colors, like the sleeves and the socks being orange. I think that's a really clean, it's kind of a throwback to when they first moved to the AL West. And there's Saturday jerseys, whereas the white jerseys, but everything else was orange. Like the hats were orange.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a throwback to that. But like I said, from what I've seen, if those are it, and if not, this is a hell of a sweat that they pulled on all of us. But those are pretty clean jerseys. Again, if they do a variation with the navy blue, I'm all for it.
I think they look good. I think they look good, man. The only thing I was that I'm still gonna have, get on my soapbox and complain about is the fact that they're Nike/Fanatics jerseys, and I know for those, like the white jerseys, they're like paper thin, man, so you can see straight through them. So if they do get a navy one out there, I think that one's going to look a little bit better. But at the same time, it's like that white one. That looks so thin. I was like, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, that kind of almost from like a texture looks like it's going to be a Saturday like evening giveaway or something like that. But the design, I think the design's killer. So I'm totally cool with the marketing department, the design department, but not the marketing department on that.
Yeah, I mean, like it looks like those jerseys. I don't know. maybe those are the special giveaways, like because like a lot of the jerseys they do the giveaways on, those are a lot thinner jerseys. And I'm
It's kind of
thinking
like
those jerseys, yeah,
youth league baseball jersey thinness.
yeah, and then like
Yeah.
for everything that I've seen, like I've looked at the promotion schedules. I mean, these are going to be their Monday home jerseys, so like they're still doing the Space City Mondays. It's just,
Well,
like I said, I'm a big fan of the dark. I mean, I don't like I said, I think that everything up to the hat looks fantastic. Again, if I
yeah, I
was
think we need to see
nitpicking,
it. Yeah, we need to see it
yeah,
on
if
a
I was
player.
nitpicking, I would
You
want the
know,
darker jersey.
I know we'll see what it looks like on the player, but I mean,
But we,
it's
like I said, we could be wrong. But like I said, I'm not a
we could be
detective,
way wrong.
but all the evidence is lining up.
Yeah, the jersey's kind of the white jersey's kind of growing on me because when I first saw it, I was like, nope, I don't like it. Like I don't like it at all. And then you keep seeing it, and I think I looked at it today again, and I was like, man, that is pretty clean. Like it's really clean. But then right below it, somebody made that navy blue, and I was like, okay, I can get on board with the navy blue. Do the navy blue, and you can have my $400. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
But the hat, yeah, not a fan of the white hat. I completely agree. So if you're breaking down the promo video, like a bunch of people on X have, there was a date of 3/20 in the promo video. That's what's it called? Space Control? I don't even know. I live in the damn city.
Yeah,
Mission Control.
Mission Control.
Mission
There
Control.
we
There you
go. It did have a 3 and it had a 20. So maybe by the 20th they'll officially launch and we'll get to see what everyone thinks it is. But it's looking like those are the City Connect for this upcoming season. We'll see, man. We'll see what it is.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of days. I want to say either the 17th or the 18th, the Space Cowboys are releasing some type of like alternate variation of their uniforms, or at least their hats. So looks like, everything's lining up for me to spend a shit ton of money right around my birthday on all this new gear. So I'm in for it. I'm in. I'm
I mean,
signed up.
look, you got sucker written across your forehead.
Yeah,
you
oh,
launch
yeah.
it and then you buy it.
Yeah. It's like somebody just got their income tax check. Let's drop it.
Yep.
So.
All right. So look, we only got a few more minutes left, man. But look, we did this last year before Bryles came on with us. We ran through every division in the
American League. In the American League.
Oh, that's true. We did not do the National League.
Yeah.
Every American League division last year, and we predicted finishes for the season. And
next week will be fun. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to have the audio from that episode of our picks for the Central, but I just didn't have time with all the Little League. I didn't have time to get it done. So last year we had Baltimore winning the division, the Yankees finishing second, the Rays finishing third, Red Sox finishing fourth, and then Toronto finishing fifth. I don't have the actual standings pulled up yet. Let's see.
Well, I mean, Yankees won the division, so that's one. Okay, so we got that one wrong.
Yeah, so that was wrong. So I think they flip-flop with Baltimore. I think Boston finished third, and I think Toronto finished fourth. Tampa Bay finished last. So
yeah,
like I said, we didn't do very well. So going with this year, and I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible because I know everybody doesn't give a crap about the AL East, but it's a tradition, so we're going to do it. So start with the bottom. Now we're here. I think I'm going to go with Toronto. I don't see really anything that they've added to their team besides Andres Jimenez. Yeah, I got them finishing last. Fourth, I have the team that tried to go above and beyond to be terrible, but I still think they'll finish fourth, and that's the Rays, even though they don't have a stadium. Here's where it's going to get a little crazy. I've got the Yankees finishing third, and that's mainly because now with Gil being hurt and now Cole needing Tommy John, he's out for the season. I mean, their rotation is basically Fried and Rondon, and they did nothing to compensate for Soto. So I've got them finishing third. Second, I got the Red Sox for them bringing in Alex Bregman, the trade for Garrett Crochet. I just think they got a lot better. So I've got Boston finishing second. Even though all they added was Uncle Charlie, I got Baltimore again finishing first place. So I've got Baltimore, Boston, Yankees, Rays, Blue Jays. That's what I got. Any differences in what y'all got?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Miles.
Okay. Yeah. It's. I mean, we're not too terribly far off here. I'm going to say Tampa Bay is going to be bottom of the barrel again, though. They're trying to not be good, and I think they are going to accomplish not being good. So I'm going to leave them there. But Blue Jays are going to be fourth right after that. So I mean, yeah, they got Santander. I know he's got issues right now. Jimenez, yeah, they did pick up the mighty Miles Straw. Don't forget that. So anyway, I'll put them in
They
fourth.
did.
Who?
For
Miles Straw, baby.
For third, I'm going with the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox, they did make some splashy moves. Don't get me wrong, but I think their starting pitching still has a lot to be desired, even with Walker Buehler and Crochet going to the team. So it's that pitching staff as a whole, I still think needs work. And this is where we're going to be a little bit different. I've got the Orioles in second. So the Orioles lost Burns, which was a huge deal for them. They did pick up the salt shaker, Charlie Morton, but I don't think they can do it. I seriously don't. And the Yankees, I will say, they did lose out on the Soto deal, but they also, don't forget, did end up picking up what's his name, Cody Bellinger. So you're basically going to
replace nothing for me.
Most of those stats, but not all of them. And they really strengthened their bullpen up as well. So, and they got Goldschmidt. I've always loved Goldschmidt his entire career. So, we'll say that. But anyway, I think the Yankees squeak it out. It's going to be a close run for the top three, just like you said. But I've got Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Blue Jays with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays bringing it up at the end.
Okay.
I think.
All right, PK.
I think. Yeah. So I was kind of planning we had a little bit more time, but
I mean, we can go a couple of minutes over. It's fine.
Because I have all the depth chart for every team.
Oh, okay. And you're gonna break it down with the
BABIP, it's all good though.
The FIP and all that stuff. Damn, this was your time to shine. I feel like I'm robbing you from really showing the baseball savant that you are.
Yeah, no, you're not robbing me of any time. But I did have Tampa Bay finishing at the end solely because my thought process was, after looking at the depth chart, I could pick out three names that I knew. So McClanahan, where'd he go? Diaz and Brandon Lau. That was it. So you're going to finish last because I don't, and they don't have a stadium. So they're trying to lose, like y'all said.
They got a drop-top stadium.
Yeah. So I'm not picking them to do anything. But next I had Toronto. Just because, they've got some talent there, but it's just like they can't put it together. I just don't see them as a legit threat to knock off these top three teams in their division. It's such a hard division anyway. So I have Tampa Bay finishing in Toronto in 4. I was going back and forth between New York and Boston for 2 and 3. Initially I had New York 3. Mostly because of what we talked about. You got, Soto's gone. Carlos Rodon's a joke. All you do is Max Fried. Stanton's hurt again. Cole's hurt again. You got Jason Dominguez, who can mash the ball, but he can't field, right? So there's one. LeMahieu, he's hurt. He's not expected back till the 11th. Which I always like LeMahieu. I mean, he was pretty good. He's pretty good when he's healthy. But so on paper, I like New York over Boston. So Boston will be my number 3, third place. New York, second place. And what did it for Baltimore is I just kind of ran through their roster, and you just look. Adley Rutschman, Mountcastle, Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westbrook, Tyler O'Neill, who they picked up in the offseason, Cedric Mullins, Colton Cowser, Ryan O'Hearn. I mean, that just on paper, that's just it's I want them to do good out there. And they have the Fanta all orange jerseys, all orange uniforms this year.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I like Baltimore, man. I like Baltimore to win the division. It's just a young team with a lot of talent, and I know we picked them last year to do it. I think they'll actually do it this year. And Batista, is closing for them. Sir Anthony Dominguez is setting up. They did get, Charlie F. and Morton, which, is a GOAT here. So mine is Baltimore, New York, Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay. As long as the Yankees don't win, man, I'm good with any of those other 4 teams doing it. So that's what I have for that. We'll see. We'll see if it holds up. See if it holds up for another year of wrong predictions.
I like it.
But I think that was kind of quick and to the point. Next week we'll do the AL Central. We'll bring back last year's episode where we were completely wrong and everything, so we can make fun of ourselves. But if you guys don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. I'm PK.
No, I got nothing.
That's Chris, and that's Bryles, and you're listening to the Juice Box Heroes podcast. We'll talk to you next week.
I don't know why they had to mess up with the white hats, man. I hate the white hats.
They could have done better with the logo on the front, for sure. 1,000%.